December 2025 is almost here, and that means a whole new load of VR games coming to headsets near you. We're going to run through every single new release coming right now. So stick around and you'll see when your new favourite game is coming to that headset. We're going to start off on the 3rd of December with Rock Invasion. This is coming to MetaQuest, and it's a rhythm action game, a Guitar Hero style game, but with a bit of a difference. The storyline here is that aliens are invading, and you, as a rock legend, must take them out. You won't just be doing your rhythm action, pressing buttons as icons fly towards the screen as you would expect, but also shooting down UFOs. It's an interesting mix, and if you're a fan of this kind of game, maybe a good one to check out. On the 4th of December, we have 3 very highly anticipated new games coming. First up, we have PSVR Legacy of Shadow. Now, this is coming to MetaQuest, PSVR 2, and PCVR, and honestly, I'm super excited for this game. The classic Thief franchise, the stealth action game, adapted for VR. What could possibly go wrong? The team behind this has worked on several big games. You'll probably know the Studio Vertigo games from the likes of Arizona Sunshine, and here with PSVR Legacy of Shadow, they're working really hard to make sure that traditional Thief agenda makes its way into VR for the very first time. PSVR, since it was announced, has created quite a fuss, but there has actually been very little released about the game in terms of how it plays. We know that the stealth action, the sneaking around and taking out guards and getting keys to unlock doors and special chests and gathering magic items and so on, all of that is going to be here. But we haven't actually seen all that much of it in action. So we're eagerly awaiting that 4th of December release date for this one. Also on the 4th, we have Deadly Delivery coming, game that is widely anticipated, especially in TikTok circles. That's been proven popular there. But moreover, we have How to God. And How to God you can catch our full review of up here. This is a god simulation along the lines of Populous and Black and White. So if you love those kind of games, this is one for you. Depending on how you interact with your villagers and the way in which you treat them, your godness, your godhood, can go one of 2 different ways. You can either become angelic or devilish. And that is relayed to you in-game with the way that your hands are presented during the levels. Then a day later, on the 5th of December, we have 2 more titles coming out. We have Men in Black Most Wanted. Now this game came out of nowhere and has been designed by Coatsink, the studio that also bought Jurassic Park Aftermath to MetaQuest headsets previously, but it's a very different kind of game. This is a co-op shooting experience, purely action-orientated, putting you in the role of a man in black, of an agent taking down alien forces. The game is suggested to be quite open-ended and have a lot of player agency, though what we've seen so far is just a trailer showing shooting things, so I'm not sure how far that goes. You have access to a wide range of weaponry and some cool Men in Black gadgets, but actually how it plays was yet to be seen. This is definitely one to keep an eye on, though. Then also on the 5th, we have the Amygdala Protocol. This is coming to MetaQuest and is a horror experience. You can probably guess what kind of game this is by just a little bit of footage that'll be in this video. It's an experience walking around a spooky area. Stuff will happen to you. Not really looked into this one much. I can pretty, hazard a guess what it's going to be like, but maybe when the 5th rolls around, we'll be playing this one and telling you it's either a good or a bad take on the genre. Now, the 11th of December is absolutely stacked. It seems like this is the last date a lot of studios have picked to get their title out in time for the holiday season. And honestly, I'm not sure we've ever had a day with so many big VR games coming all at once. We're going to jump right in with Star Trek Infection coming to MetaQuest and PCVR. And this is a really different take on Star Trek that we haven't seen in video games before. It's more like a survival game. There is a grand infection taking over everybody, and you must do what you can to not become infected. It's kind of, I would say, verging on Dead Space a little bit, which seems a bit off-brand for Star Trek to me. A little bit too down the darker path. But hey, I'm not the biggest Star Trek fan in the world, and I'm sure you'll let me know if they've done things like this before. Then we have Tin Heart Act 1 on MetaQuest. Now this game originally launched on PSVR 2 and PCVR, I think it was 2023? And it's a lemming-style puzzle game. You have little robotic guys walking around the area and you must guide them to an exit, but they all have their own individual behaviours. So you must use abilities and objects in order to counteract that and still make sure they reach their destination. It's been well received on PCVR and PSVR 2, and the launch strategy for MetaQuest is a little bit different. It's launching in several different acts. and you can buy each act as an add-on. The first act is launching on the 11th of December, and the subsequent acts will be launching soon thereafter, though we don't yet have specific dates. Next up, we have Pocket Lands. Now, this is kind of like a game that's very obviously aping Minecraft. It's come into MetaQuest, and it wants to fill the shoes of the recent cut in support for Minecraft VR. And there's nothing wrong with that. We need an alternative. Minecraft is still amazingly popular, so hopefully Pocket Lands can fill those shoes. Next we have VR Giants, and this is a game that is a platformer, but kind of like a Lucky's Tale style platformer, where you control a character on the screen and have interactions in order to make the journey easier, in order to pass certain puzzles. The big element here, though, is that there are giants within the world, and they will interact with objects and items within the levels in order to create new pathways for you to progress. Then we come to Healer. Now, this is an MR shooting game from a studio that has got quite a good reputation in VR, Roto Entertainment. They've had several different titles that have launched across various different VR platforms, and all of which have been quite well received. Can Healer do the same? It's a bit different to their usual stuff, but also when it was announced, it did receive quite a lot of attention. It's a game in which you scan your area, your own space, and it creates a shooting experience within that world. So, you know, it's not like the kind of game that we haven't had a lot of, but it's definitely a game style that needs to improve in quality. So hopefully Roto Entertainment can be the ones to break new ground here. And we also have Boom Karts coming on the 11th of December. And this game is a port of a free-to-play mobile game, which is now coming to MetaQuest headsets. It's also going to be free-to-play on MetaQuest, and the idea here being that you can play in VR or on a mobile device with cross-platform support. So if your friends are already enjoying Boom Karts on their iPhone or their Android smartphone or their tablet, and you want to get one up on them, get the MetaQuest version, join their races and show them how it's really done. Next up we have Last Bone, and this one's kind of come out of nowhere. Honestly, I don't really know much about this one. It is a multiplayer PvP arena-based shooting kind of game? Fighting, action, I don't know what you want to call it. Basically, you and a group of friends all enter an arena with your own specific power-ups and must fight to survive. Doesn't really seem like there's much more to it than this, but I'm sure there is. So, devs, if you want to tell me about Last Bone, please get in touch. And finally, on the 11th of December, we have Flight Unlimited. This is a MetaQuest release that essentially wants to be the realistic flight simulation game for the MetaQuest headset. We're not getting Microsoft Flight Simulator anytime soon on a MetaQuest, although you can obviously use it through PSVR with Steam Link. However, Flight Unlimited for MetaQuest is built from the ground up to support the standalone device. So, if flying simulators are your thing, firstly, be sure to check out our video up here. And secondly, maybe Flight Unlimited is the one that you want to play this holiday. Rounding out the month, we have Espire MR Missions, which is basically a standalone version, I assume, of the MR part of Espire 2, which was well received when it launched, so hopefully our entire game built around that element will also be well received. Then we also have Ninja Warrior VR on the 18th of December, and finally we've got Les Mills XR Dance coming to PC VR at some point in December, but we don't yet have a specific release date. So that wraps up every new game being released in December 2025. It's pretty stacked, and I'm sure there's going to be more coming out of nowhere. And if you know of any that we missed out, make sure you let us know in the comments down below. Share the titles, let other users get their enjoyment as well. Thanks very much for watching, make sure you like and subscribe and all that jazz, and we'll see you again soon.